They told me not to look him in the eyes. It was the first thing I heard when I came back to Harristown, Pennsylvania, after nearly a decade away. My Uncle Darren said it over coffee on my second morning in town, his hands wrapped so tight around the mug, I thought it might break. "Don't look him in the eyes," he said, "even if he doesn't have any." I laughed at first. It sounded like one of those things old folks say to keep kids from wandering too far at night. But Darren didn't smile. His face was pale, and his eyes darted toward the kitchen window like he expected to see something there. That was the first time I heard about the hollow-eyed one. It wasn't the last. Harristown was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone else's business. It had one grocery store, one diner, a police station that looked like it belonged in a movie from the 70s, and a single main road lined with brick buildings whose paint was peeling in long, curling strips. The summers were hot and sticky, the winters long and mean. When I was a kid, the biggest excitement we had was the county fair and the rumors about Miller Woods, a dense patch of trees about a mile east of town. Kids dared each other to go there after dark, but nobody actually did, not unless they were drunk or stupid. That's where the hollow-eyed one was supposed to live. The earliest story I could find about him came from an 1894 clipping in the Harristown Gazette. Local farmhand found dead near Miller Creek. Witnesses report strange man with dark, hollow sockets where eyes should be. Authorities dismiss claims as hysteria. It read like folklore, the kind of thing people used to explain tragedies they didn't understand. But over the years, the reports kept coming, not every year. Sometimes there'd be nothing for decades. Then someone would see him again. Always the same description. Tall, thin, skin pale as bone, no eyes, just two black pits. Yet somehow everyone said they could feel him looking at them. I started talking to people. Nancy Ridge was the first, 62 years old, retired school bus driver. She'd lived here her whole life. We met in her small kitchen, the smell of coffee so strong it clung to the air. She told me about a morning in 1983. She'd been driving the route along Old Quarry Road when she saw him. He was just standing there at the crossroads, she said, her voice low. Didn't move, didn't wave, just still. My first thought was he was some drifter. But when the bus passed, I saw his face. Those holes, like something had dug them out. But the worst part was how I knew he was looking at me. The kids on the bus had gone quiet. One of them, 8-year-old Greg Turner, asked her, "Why did that man have holes in his face?" A week later, Greg went missing. No one ever found him. The next person I spoke to was Bill Harper, 47, former night security guard at the textile mill before it shut down in '05. "It was around 2 in the morning," Bill said, lighting a cigarette with shaky hands. "I was doing my rounds, heard footsteps behind me, slow, heavy. Turned around and he was just there, tall, thin. My flashlight hit his face and, Jesus, I froze, couldn't breathe. And then, just like that, he was gone. I quit the next day, ain't been back since." Now Rebecca Klein was 29, a waitress at the diner. She claimed she saw him last winter outside her apartment building. "It was snowing," she told me. "Street light was dim. He was across the road, just standing there. I felt cold, but not from the snow. It was like something inside me froze solid. He didn't move, didn't blink. Then a car went by, and when it passed, he was gone. I packed up and left the next week. Then through a friend at the county records office, I got access to something called Case de 72 HO, almost certainly standing for hollow-eyed. It was a thick folder of handwritten police reports, some going back to the 1940s. Police report, October 12, 1947. Deputy Charles Noland responded to call from residents on Carpenter Hill. Caller stated, a man with no eyes was watching her children through the window. Snow on ground showed single set of footprints leading away from house, stopping abruptly in middle of field. No suspect located. Police report, June 4th, 1961. Sergeant William Turner. 2 hikers reported strange encounter in Miller Woods. Tall male, estimated 6'5", pale skin, no eyes. Subject followed them silently. Disappeared when confronted. Area searched. Negative results. Every report ended the same way. No further action taken. The biggest breakthrough came when someone left a package on my porch. No note, no return address. Inside was an unmarked VHS tape. It was shot at night, the grainy green of night vision showing trees along Miller Creek. A tall figure stood just beyond the tree line. The camera zoomed in. You could see the hollow sockets. The figure never moved, but the person holding the camera started breathing faster. The image shook. Then the camera dropped to the ground. Running footsteps, branches snapping, then silence. The tape ended. In the last 2 years, sightings have spiked. Social media posts pop up, then disappear within hours. People vanish, hikers, hunters, even a mailman. The police say there's no pattern. In April, I was driving back from an interview when my car broke down near Miller Woods. No cell service. I popped the hood. That's when I felt it. Not a sound, a feeling. Like something was watching me from inside my skull. I turned. He was there. Less than 30 feet away. Tall, thin, perfectly still. Those holes were deeper than empty. They seemed to swallow the light. I couldn't move. My vision blurred. My chest locked up. Then, headlights. Another car coming. I blinked, and he was gone. Some think he's the ghost of a miner who lost his eyes in an accident. Others say he's a demon feeding on fear. A few claim he's something else entirely. Not human, not from here. The most disturbing theory came from a man named Alan Cross, a former psychiatric patient who tracked sightings for years. He doesn't take you right away, Alan told me. He marks you. Once you've seen him, you'll keep seeing him. Closer each time, until he's close enough to reach you, and when he does, you'll wish you'd never had eyes at all. Alan was found dead 2 months later. He'd removed his own eyes. I've seen him every day for the past week. In the window, in the reflection of my TV when it's off. Last night at the foot of my bed, I haven't slept, haven't eaten. My reflection looks wrong now. The sockets are dark. If you're hearing this, don't look for him. And if you see him, don't look into the holes. Because once you do, you can't look away. Look.